The controversial Kimberley Mental Hospital has finally been opened today. The Northern Cape's new mental hospital took more than 12 years to be completed and cost 6 times more than the amount initially allocated for the project. It cost 2 billion rand. The project was plagued by multiple lawsuits and had no less than 4 contractors. Well, for more on this story, we're going to cross now to my colleague Ulrich, who's standing by for us. Ulrich, just tell us what's the latest where you are. How did the opening go? And it's quite amazing that 2 billion rands was spent on that facility.
Yes, Nomput, it's quite the Premier of the Northern Cape, who opened the facility just a couple of minutes ago, actually called this a statue of corruption. He said that police and other investigative agencies should actually look into this matter, and we know that some of them actually are busy doing that in the meantime. But to look into the matter and to find out what went wrong, where a facility that was budgeted for 290 million rand just 12 years ago is only able to be completed 12 years later with another additional 1 billion rand to construct that facility. Of course, they had a bit of a walkabout in the facility just a while ago. He then came back and said that this is actually one of the best facilities of its kind on the African continent, and that has to do with size, norms and standards, the sort of treatment that the people or the patients in the facility will get. But quite concerning, as you said, to the Northern Cape government, to the Premier and to the Health MEC, who we spoke to just a couple of minutes ago as well, about the escalating cost of this building, and they're looking at cutting that when they look at other public infrastructure projects in the future.
Ulrich, there's a lot of noise in the background. Have you spoken to community people there to find out what they think of the mental hospital? I mean, from where I can see, it does look very nice indeed.
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice facility. It's very pretty from the outside. In the inside, the wards and the facilities that the patients will have is quite nice. But we did speak to some of the people who actually have patients or family members as patients at West End Hospital, where patients are currently being housed, and they actually quite excited of their family members being able to come to this side, to this facility, because it is much better, it is bigger, and there's just so much more staff as well. So it's much better for the patients as well to come to this facility than to the West End facility that were understaffed, overcrowded, and had a chronic shortage of sometimes medication as well.
One last thing, Ulrich. So basically 1.7 billion rand more was spent than should have been spent on this facility. Is any action being taken? Is that where it ends?
Well, they have announced, and we are aware that the Hawks, for example, and other agencies are investigating the escalation in terms of the money that was spent. 1.7 billion is quite a number of a big amount. If you're looking at the budgeted amount from originally is 290 million. So there are investigations currently underway in terms of what happened here and who is responsible. And the Premier in his speech, and the MEC of Health also in her speech, actually called on those to be fast-tracked so that they can pinpoint to specific individuals or groups of people, and so that they can be prosecuted if necessary.
All right, Ulrich, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your report there, my colleague there, Ulrich Hendriks, reporting from Kimberley. The Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein has dismissed the case between Cash Paymaster Services and the South African Social Security Agency, also known as SASSA. CPS had approached the SCA in an effort to challenge the ruling of the High Court in Pretoria, which had ordered them to pay back more than 316 million rand to SASSA after it was found that the agency had irregularly paid CPS. The High Court had ordered CPS to repay the money after Corruption Watch took both CPS and SASSA to court. The Competition Commission is releasing its final findings and recommendations on its health